Australia is experiencing some of the worst fires we've ever seen. My family and I live in New South Wales, and for the third time this season, our government has declared a state of emergency. But in the midst of this, more people are praying to God than I've ever seen before, including people that wouldn't usually pray.
Siren started up, and at that point, I was praying. I was an atheist, mate, for 25 years.
I don't pray to the Lord very often, but yesterday, I've never prayed so hard in all my life.
In this tumultuous time, many Christian groups are gathering to pray.
My church congregation have been asked to pray and fast for rain.
And prayer is extremely important. But how many of us are actively finding ways to share the gospel in a country crying out for hope? Watch what can be done whilst at a park with my family.
Where are we going to go?
To the park!
Using 3 simple questions and a 20-second video on my phone.
I've been stunned by what's happened, as I know you guys would have in the last 3 months. There's fires all over Australia at the moment. It's probably some of the worst fires we've seen in maybe even Australian history.
It's really scary. We holidayed in Lake Conjola in November, and it's burnt down now.
Yeah. Are you for real?
Yeah, so the whole entry.
The whole entry into Lake Conjola is gone.
Yeah.
It's insane.
My goodness. And you guys, I'm sure, would agree with this, but Australians, when things are difficult, they seem to get together and really give each other a hand. Have you guys found that?
Yeah, we actually did that. We all got together and put some money in and bought some beers and ciders for the guys at Wyoming.
A lot of people have opened their homes to people that have been evacuated. You know, you band together to help your fellow man, which is a good thing to see, especially when you're experiencing scary situations like the fires.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of scary situations, something I've found that Australians are doing more than any other time that I remember is really praying. Even some people who don't usually pray have been praying. Let me show you a little video example of this. Well, this is just from ABC and Channel 7. Have a look at this.
Siren started up, and at that point, I was praying. I was an atheist, mate, for 25 years. I was praying to God, I was praying to Jesus, turn the wind.
The team here is amazing, and it's due to them and the prayers from the whole country that we survived.
Yesterday I thought I was going to die. I really did. And I don't pray to the Lord very often, but yesterday, I've never prayed so hard in all my life.
Why do you think that people, when their life's in risk or they're in a dire situation like we are at the moment, why do you think people turn to God, turn to prayer?
I think it's a bit of a natural instinct.
And no matter what you believe in, there's a creator, and you want to know that that creator is got your back and is there for the people. And we're atheists, and I would do the same thing. I would pray.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
People run out of options and feel that they have to look for something, I guess, beyond themselves.
I think it's also the hope that there's something else that could help.
It's often a last hope, I guess, for people.
In this tragedy, people tend to realise that they're not always in control, and it gives them reassurance to reach out to someone higher than them.
Have you found yourself at all calling out to God or praying recently?
Yeah, I had a meltdown on New Year's Eve with the fires up at Charmhaven.
I can't say that I have. I'm not religious.
Well, I'm Christian, so I do try to, and not just in times of strife like now with the bushfires, but every day as well.
Have you found yourself turning to prayer in the midst of any of this?
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. To be honest, don't know who to, but it's to someone out there listening. You just hope for the best for everyone.
Yeah, pray regularly.
After just a few questions and a short video, people were open to hearing the gospel.
It says in the Bible that God has put eternity on man's hearts, and we know that we're not going to live forever.
As well as a presentation called the 3 Circles.
This first circle represents brokenness. We weren't made for brokenness, we were made for something called God's perfect design. But we as humans, we turned away from God, and something called sin separated us from Him.
People allowed us to pray with them.
Lord, we thank you for Australia.
We just ask that you would send rain to put these fires out.
And we were able to plant seeds in the lives of those who haven't yet received Christ.
But I would encourage
American 11, are you trying to call?
The cockpit is not answering their phone. Our number 1 has been staffed, and our 5 has been staffed.
Hey, I'm going to call from Washington. I have a situation with American 11, a possible hijack.
What's going on, Betty? The aircraft is erratic again. Problem, very erratic. Betty, talk to me. Betty, are you there? Betty? Betty?
The plane just is
What?
the 737.
Hey, what?
Like the World Trade
Who are you
Center.
talking to?
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
United 175, New York. We have some problems over here right now. We might have a hijack over here, 2 of them.
Jules, this is Ryan. Listen, on an airplane that's been hijacked. If things don't go well, and it's not looking good, I just want you to know I absolutely love you. I want you to do good. So have a good time. Same to my parents and everybody. And I just totally love you, and I'll see you later, Jessica. Bye, babe.
What are those people going to do? All the elevators are blocked out.
Oh my God. So both towers are now.
Okay, I got an aircraft 6 miles east of the White House.
Hello?
Crystal City, just north of Crystal City. Just to the north of your town. Yeah, stop all departures. Pentagon just got hit. Don't fill me in that. God damn, I can't even protect my NCA.
United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound 370.
Negative contact, we're looking, United 93.
United 93, Cleveland, if you hear the center, ident.
I got that. You remaining, Sadiq. Yeah, the ball, boss.
Tuesday, 9:47 a.m.
Hi, baby. Baby, you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much. And I'm so sorry, babe. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby. I love you. Bye.
Number 56865. We have, I believe it is a Boeing 757. Can you see him up there, sir?
That's confirmed. It looks like he's rocking his wings.
Roger.
He's rocking back and forth.
Number 56865, I advise you stay away from that aircraft. Go north as fast as you can.
United 93, have you got information on that yet?
Yeah, he's down.
He's down?
Yes.
When did he land?
He did not land.
Oh, he's down?
Yeah,
Down?
somewhere up northeast of Camp David.
Sean, it's me. I just want to let you know I love you, and I'm stuck in this building in New York. There's lots of smoke, and I just wanted you to know that I love you always.
At number 2 World Trade Center, right. Lady was stewardess in the walking. We're not ready to die, but it's getting bad.
I'm on the 83rd floor. I'm gonna die, aren't I? No. I'm gonna die.
Liv, say your prayers. We're gonna think positive because you gotta help each other get off the floor.
I'm gonna die.
That's a new type of war. That's what it is.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We were told nothing. We knew nothing. We were told very little about the day, except don't look at the flash.
Can you describe the day that the nuclear bomb was dropped?
And just before the sun comes up, we were marshalled in groups.
I went out on the aircraft carrier, the Warrior, and we was told to face the stern of the ship, the back of the ship.
We were told to cover our eyes with our hands or bury your eyes into the crook of your arm, which we did.
To say it was frightening is an understatement. I think it shocked us all into silence. When the flash hit you, you could see the x-rays of your hands through your closed eyes.
It was just sheer brilliant light. So I've never seen anything like it, never had done.
In the process of hands over your eyes, you saw every bone in your hand.
If I was looking at you now, I would see all your bones. You would see all the blood vessels and everything, and the bones a lot.
Then the heat hit you, and that was just as if somebody my size had actually caught fire, then walked through me. It was an experience that was absolutely unearthing. It was so strange.
Some of the lads would stand up, but about 30 odd seconds later, you'd get the blast, and the blast would knock you flying.
And there were guys with bruises and broken limbs. We couldn't believe it.
After a while, we were told that we could now stand and look up and watch the mushroom form.
You caught sight of the side of it at 90 degrees. It was that huge. It wasn't there, it wasn't there, it was there. It was practically above you.
All they saw was this rising fireball, a colossal fireball just going up, and thunder, lightning, you name it.
What I noticed most was the clouds moving away like that. You know, round and round and round.
I think it was too much for some of them, and some of them would cry and ask for their mum. That was awful.
There was no comprehension that anything like that could even exist. It was immense.
It's a sight to see, but never want to see it again.
Over a 10-year test period, there were 22,500 personnel. In 2013, we estimated that 18,500 of us had died. And the reports that I'd seen, nobody had died practically of natural causes. They all died of leukemias and cancers and carcinomas of one sort or the other. And for a government to do that to its own people is absolutely disgraceful. It's outrageous.